a home game here for Christian, who plays their home games here at Granite Hills. But the final game of the regular season for the 2012 season, pretty crazy that we're already at that point. But both these teams had a different route this season getting to where they are now.
Yeah, Christian obviously preparing themselves for the CIF championships. And Crawford, quite frankly, would love to end on a positive note, but hopefully we'll just play 60 minutes and get on out of here because it's been a tough season for them.
Yeah, their roster is depleted with injuries. Looking over at their sideline now, I mean, they only have maybe about 18 to 20 people suited up. And so their players going both ways, offensively and defensively. They actually had a forfeit game this year due to risk of more injuries. So you feel for them. You got to give them a lot of credit for coming out here, showing a lot of heart, and trying to represent their school and being outmanned.
And Andrew, and for the seniors, it's really been tough because last year they went 1-9, and right now they have the prospects of ending their season like that this year. So 2 tough years back to back can really bring a program way down in the dumps.
On the other end, Christian coming in with a pretty solid season, 6-3 thus far, and a couple of those losses were very close losses, so they very easily could have an even better record. And so this is their final game before the playoffs start next week, and they're hoping to make some noise in the playoffs, and they're definitely well-equipped to do so.
Yeah, the very well-rounded team. I mean, everybody keys on their talented running back, the senior Rayvon Owens. But to me, you've got to really be careful of Parrish Miller because he's a compliment back to them, and they really work well together. And then, of course, Michael Carrillo. He throws the ball timely for them, so they really have a well-balanced offense.
We're going to take a quick break and step aside for the anthem and prayer here at Christian High. We'll come back with all the action on PlayOnSports.com. Welcome back to PlayOnSports.com. I'm Andrew Jensen alongside Thomas Conroy as we are just moments away from kickoff here at Granite Hills High as Christian and Crawford getting ready to square off for the final game of the 2012 regular season and the final conference game here for both these teams in the Central League. And 6-3 Christian with the final game coming in 6-3. Meanwhile, Crawford on the other end 1-8, and both teams here gearing in different directions. As we talked a moment ago, Christian trying to solidify their seeding tomorrow in the Division 5 playoffs, and Crawford just trying to stay healthy and head back and regroup and get ready for next year.
Yeah, and that's really the tough part of it for the Colts is just trying to making sure everybody stays healthy and try to get out of this one basically alive and maybe show some promise for next year for the juniors and on their squad.
The team decimated by injuries actually had a forfeited game earlier this year because of injuries, and very thin roster for the Crawford Colts. But you got to admire them coming out here competing with the little players that they do have, little numbers. Ball is kicked off, and Crawford will start the football game with the ball, and having a tough time fielding the kickoff, bringing it to the 15-yard line is Crawford.
I think it was him, Makara, number 21, that picked up the ball, Andrew. That ball, they let the ball bounce a little bit in front of them. The returners did. And when that pigskin takes a bounce, it usually takes either a left or a right-hand turn. Can't always be prepared for it. And Makara does a nice job of recovering the football and getting just a few yardage out of that. You don't want to have a turnover that close to your end zone early in the game.
So the first play from scrimmage, hand off for Crawford towards the right side, a pickup of about 3, maybe 3.5 on first down.
Yeah, and that's going to be one of the problems with Crawford today is I think they're going to go with a very basic offense, not a lot into it, just simply because with the lack of manpower, you don't really have quality time on the practice field to kind of get more sophisticated with your offense.
Well, just looking at the bench of Crawford right now, they have 7 guys on the bench that aren't playing, a very thin roster, and kind of limits what you can do. Handoff there by Musa Abdi, and Abdi picks up about a yard, brings up 3rd and 5.
Yeah, just going straight ahead blocking by the Colts on Christian, and just trying to get as much yardage as you possibly can. Abdi just saw a little bit of a hole, try to go through it, and right there, the Christian front lineman, a nice job stopping them in front.
3rd and 5 for Crawford, who's in their road all-white uniforms with the red numbering and red stirrups and their white helmets. Meanwhile, Christian with their home all-navy pants and navy jerseys with the white helmets and white numbering here at Granite Hills. 3rd and 5 for Crawford on the first possession of the game. And there's movement. It's going to be a false start penalty. It'll push Crawford back 5 yards.
Yeah, Martin Louise there moved a little bit. Looked like he was coming in motion and got out in front. Did not stop, and false start.
So brings up 3rd down and close to 10. So a long 3rd down attempt here for the Colts. Just underway, 10:27 left here in the first quarter. First possession of the ball game. Crawford will line up in the shotgun. Ball is handed off on the draw play. Not a lot of room. Pick up maybe a couple. And that is Ray Lyons, who gets maybe about 2. And it's going to bring up 4th down and a long 7.
Yeah, good misdirection play there by Crawford. Trying to get a little yardage on the opposite side, and had a little bit of a hole there, but nicely closed up there by the senior defensive lineman, Tyler Leslie, for the Christian team.
So Trevor Howell, the punt returner, will come in for the Patriots. He'll stand at about midfield. And the Patriots will have good field position coming up after this punt attempt from the Colts. Low snap. Kick is up. Howell will field it at the 46. Heading towards the near side here. Crosses midfield. And we brought down at the Crawford 46-yard line, but a hard block in the process.
Yeah, Trenton Souls really pancaked number 54 for Crawford as he got Ton right as he was turning, right after the good move there by Howell to try to get to the outside. Souls came up and really pancaked Tan to the ground and opened up a yardage, open up a lane there for him to pick up about 5 more extra yards on that return.
So Crawford goes 3 and out with their first offensive series. Now the Patriots will get their opportunity as they have it 1st and 10 from the Colt 46-yard line. Michael Carrillo, the quarterback, setting up the screen pass, gets it out to Paris Miller, and Miller has room ahead of him, and he may be gone. Just like that, a touchdown for Christian. Paris Miller from 46 yards on the set-up screen pass. Carrillo to Miller, 6-0, just like that. Patriots on top.
Yeah, give credit to the offensive line. It was a simple bubble screen. Carrillo waited nicely as the defensive line came towards him, but the offensive line pulled out, really opened up a lane there once Miller made the catch. he had really much a great. Nobody challenged him as he went straight down the sidelines for that easy touchdown of 46 yards.
Mason Powell will come in now and attempt the extra point for the Patriots. Snap's good, kick is up, and the extra point is up and through. Patriots 7, Crawford nothing, as we have 9:14 left here in the first quarter on PlayOnSports.com.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Then tell your school to sign up for Play On Sports School Broadcast Program. This program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to PlayOnSports.com/SBP.
I'm Andrew Jensen alongside Thomas Conroy here at Granite Hills High. Powell getting ready to kick this one off. That's Javier Said back deep, as Powell will just squib kick it, and it will be fallen on by an upman for the Colts. That looks like Sonic Tan, who falls on it for the Colts.
Yeah, just squibbing it right there, and Tan, smart play. He's a linebacker type, and he just fell right on top of it. Did not try to advance it himself and risk a turnover.
So the Colts will have good field position after that squib kick. They'll take over at their own 31. They moved the ball fairly effectively on the first two plays of their last drive, but then that penalty moved them back and kind of put them in a hole. But on that first play, they were able to pick up solid yards on first down, and we'll see if the Colts are able to duplicate that here on this first down attempt. Shotgun. Ball is handed off on the draw play, and nothing there. And maybe a yard is what referees are going to give the Colts.
Great penetration there by Sebastian Swift for Christian. He got in that backfield and really kind of caused a lot of chaos there, as the running game kind of the running back had to kind of dash and dig his way for a few yards.
So 2nd and 9 after that draw play. Yasela Rodriguez, the quarterback, he's going to go deep on 2nd down, fires, and Howell, great coverage there, deflects that one away at the last moment, clean deflection, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, he had good coverage there on I think it was number 21, Makara there. Yeah, it was. As, good pressure coming up front by the Christian defensive line. It's not a lot of time for the quarterback, but he did get the ball nicely downfield. And just broken up, as Andrew said, nicely by Trevor Howell.
Howell, a good-looking player here for the Patriots. Only a sophomore. We had him as our player of the game a few weeks back, and always calling his name. He has a bright future for the Christian High Patriots. Screen pass on 3rd down is trying to find Ray Lyons, but Lyons can't hang on to it as he is hit, and the ball comes free. And then I'll bring up 4th down and 9, and Christian will get the ball back.
Yeah, the Patriots had that covered beautifully there, as they really read the bubble screen almost immediately. Not a lot of room there for Rodriguez to throw the football, and he's lucky he didn't get that intercepted there. Put it in the hands of Lyons, but just not a lot of open space for him to run with the football.
So Howell will come in again and return the punt. He's standing at his own 35. High snap, and the kick is almost blocked. And Howell will call a fair catch at the 40-yard line, and that's where the Patriots will take over from their own 40 as they have an early 7-0 lead with 8:19 left in the first quarter here on PlayOnSports.com.
Play On Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play On Sports on both Facebook and Twitter, and you can also have access to thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
So the Patriots, with their second offensive possession, they scored on their first play just a few moments ago, and we'll have it again here, 1st and 10 from their own 40. Carrillo under center, and he's looking to throw on 1st down, has time, fires, and completes it for a pickup of, they're going to call that about 7, as he got that complete to Philip George, the senior receiver, and it'll bring up 2nd and 3.
Yeah, he's their most versatile receiver there, George, and a great route running as Curlo got beautiful time and really a good tight spiral to George right at the hash marks here, the near hash marks for close to that first down. So a nice start here for Carrillo on the passing game, 2 for 2.
Yeah, Carrillo actually, they picked up 8 on that play, gave him a nice spot, 2nd down and 2. Carrillo under center, and he's going to look to throw, fires over the middle, and has it complete. And that looks like Trenton Sauls with the completion, and he drags a couple defenders with him before he is finally brought down at about the 43, and we have an injured Crawford Colt on the field.
Yeah, not exactly what they needed, but Sauls right there. Good route run as he slipped right across the middle of the field, got behind the linebacker core to get that first down, and Carrillo read him all the way. And nice touch to him to get that soft pass to Sauls for the first down.
And McCarham is the injured player, but he's walking off on his own power, limping off a little bit, but walking on his own power. That's a good sign for Crawford.
Yeah, he made the tackle on Sauls, so he came up on the bad end of that.
So 1st and 10 at the Crawford 43-yard line, and Carrillo 3 for 3 to start out this game with a 46-yard touchdown pass to boot. 7:36 left here in the first quarter, as waiting for play to resume after the injured player is escorted off the field there.
Yeah, and I would think Christian would attack the Crawford, the new secondary player for them right now.
Carrillo looking to throw again, fires, has it complete, and again he gets it to Philip George, and George has a first down, a pickup of about 13 yards, moved the chains, and Carrillo on the mark here this evening.
Yeah, just a little hook pattern right across the middle of the field, and Severin Denny came up and made a nice stop on George, but too late as they got another first down on the passing game. Denny, a junior, number 8 on Crawford.
1st and 10 from the Crawford 30-yard line. And Carrillo again will look to throw. And the pocket collapses, and Carrillo fires that, and Howell made an attempt at it but couldn't come down with it. 2nd down and 10. That's the first incomplete pass tonight for the Patriots.
Great inside rush by Martine Louise, number 55 for Crawford. Got in tight and got on Carrillo really fast. Smart play by Carrillo. He dumped it out in the flat where there really wasn't anybody there, and there was really no shot of a Crawford player coming up and intercepting the ball. So a smart read there by the quarterback.
7:02 left in the first quarter. 7-0 Christian has the lead. They have the football 2nd and 10 from the Crawford 30-yard line. Carrillo under center. And on the draw play, hands it off to Paris Miller. And Miller makes a man miss, and he's going to scoot into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the game. That one from 30 yards out. And Paris Miller with 2 long touchdowns in this first quarter.
Yeah, that time he caught the Crawford defense flat-footed right there. They didn't expect a run. Perfectly executed by Christian right over the left guard there. And Miller, once he got it on the hash marks, made 2 moves that kind of split the two safeties, and he went right through them easily for a touchdown. Great athletic play there by Paris Miller for his 2nd touchdown of the game, first rushing on the evening.
And Mason Powell will come in but to kick the extra point, but whistles stop the play from progressing, so we'll see what the call is. Referee timeout. And Powell will come in and attempt the extra point and try to bring this up to a 14-0 lead. Extra point is up, and the extra point is good. 14-0. Patriots have the lead over Crawford with 6:54 left here in the first quarter.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also a place for comprehensive coverage of high school playoffs and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
Paris Miller making it look easy on those 2 touchdown runs. And that's another kid on this team we talked about, Trevor Howell having a bright future ahead of him, as Paris Miller is only a junior, so he has another year coming back, and he has been very exciting for this Patriot team.
Yeah, and that move to the inside when he's running on the hash marks, he split those two safeties. Not too many athletic running backs can make that play, and he just made it so easily, kept them flat-footed, and then he just ran right through them. He had the speed. And early, this is my third game covering Christian, and what you really like about Parrish Miller is he has the speed, but he also has the toughness to take on defenders.
Powell, another squib kick, will be fielded, and Crawford player just will drop to the ground, and the Colts will take over.
Yeah, that was number 7, Javier Sid, who picked up the ball. He's a sophomore. Got to believe he was a JV transfer up to the varsity level. So kind of made sure, just wanted to protect the football. And that's been really their philosophy here early on, Andrew, is to protect the football on the kickoffs and on the change of possessions, not do a whole lot of returning right yet.
So Yacel Rodriguez will bring the Colts to the line of scrimmage as they'll start this drive from their own 29. And Rodriguez will pitch it to the far side, and not a lot of room. In fact, it's going to be a big loss, as that was Ray Lyons, who had nowhere to go, and Lyons is stopped in his tracks for a loss of close to 10.
Yeah, the senior Jacob Porras, the outside linebacker, read it beautifully as he came out and really cut down that gap right there for the outside run to try to get off that corner there. He made a nice play just cutting that off and taking on the running back straight on and took him down with a great open field tackle.
So second down, and we'll call it 20 with 6:10 left here in the first quarter, and whistles will stop this play from happening, and it looks like we have movement going against Crawford. That will move them back 5 more yards, so it'll be second down and 25 now for the Colts.
Yeah, it looked like Robert Courtney there, the junior tackle, far tackle, moved us a bit as he'll be moved as he was caught false start. So it will be now second down and 18. Ball's at their 21 for Crawford. Quarterback coming underneath center here. And he's going to go quarterback draw, a straight ahead run right there for Yacel. Rodriguez Yacel gets a few yards, gets up to the 20. So nice run there on the quarterback draw.
Give him a little bit of breathing room and try to make it a little bit more manageable. There brings up third down. Still going to be long, but not as long as it was. So it's third down and about 18.
Yeah, now Yacel going over to talk to the coaching staff there.
So 5:10 left here in the first quarter. It's going to be third and about 18 here for.
If you can give him a little time, Yacel has shown he can throw the ball downfield. Let's see if they're going to try it here.
And Rodriguez fires towards the far side and incomplete. He has tried to find, it looks like Musa. And
somebody ran the wrong route, or the quarterback didn't expect that type of. He might have thought of the play wrong. Usually, you've got to give it to the receiver running the wrong route, because the quarterback usually knows what he's doing. As he threw it to a certain spot, and that receiver was nowhere near inside of it.
So Jorge Lara will come in and punt this one away, and Howell will stand at midfield and await the punt. And Howell has been busy fielding punts. This will be his third one here in the first quarter.
And that's a problem when you have a lot of injuries, Andrew. Not a lot of practice time, and you just don't know that you're not crisp with the playbook.
And the punt will come to a stop at the Crawford 47-yard line, and that's where Christian will start this drive, as they have a 14-0 lead with 4:43 left in the first quarter. And Christian really can make things awfully difficult here if they score on this drive.
Yeah, and they're running their full game plan. You can just see that right now they're using this in preparation for their playoff game, not knowing if they're going to get a bye tomorrow. As he said, they'll find that all out around probably 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock tomorrow once all the seedings come out. So They got to use this game in preparation that they're going to be possibly playing next week in a playoff game.
Let me tell you, Christian will be a tough out in Division 5. Again, they're 6-3, but they very easily could have won pretty much every game that they have lost this year.
Yeah, and what you like about them, they're balanced both passing and running, so they can hurt you on both ways. So, and you just want to make sure you're fine-tuned in both aspects of the game heading into playoffs starting next week.
We'll have an offside penalty going against Crawford, so it makes Christian start this drive a little bit closer. It'll be 1st and 5 from the 42.
And those are the penalties that kill you. You can't give them an easy 5 yards defensively. Got to concentrate on where the ball is and watch the ball and make sure it's snapped before you make your defensive move.
So Carrillo will line up under center. He's going to throw on 1st down under pressure and is able to get the pass off to Philip George. And George just outruns the defenders, and he'll scoot into the end zone from 42 yards out. And Christian right now is making this look easy as they're up 20-0 with 4:32 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, great throw there by Michael Carrillo as he took the oncoming rush for that split second. Just wanted to make sure George can extend himself away from the coverage, and he did. He created separation on Lyons, and what a great throw by Carrillo. Hit George on the run, and then again, he went right up the near hash mark and split the defense for the touchdown.
And Mason Powell will come in again and attempt the extra point. Good snap. Powell's kick is up, and Powell's kick is up and through. 21-0. 4:32 left here in the first quarter. Christian has looked great thus far.
Stay tuned for PlayOnSports.com postgame show where we will select our player of the game, as well as wrap up all the action from this ball game. That's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
The Patriots trying to do their best Oregon Duck impersonation here and scoring multiple touchdowns in the first couple minutes of the ball game.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, the Crawford team, we talked about it, and it's a tough situation. You know, you're really playing. You're almost playing a card game with half the deck because you just can't make a whole lot of substitutions, and you don't know how much practice time they can actually have due to all the injuries and manning a team.
Well,
I mean, pretty much you have to practice against your JV team.
Well, not only that, they're playing both ways, and so you can't really practice one position, one thing for very long because all these guys are going both ways. Squib kick, fielded 25, brought out to close to the 30, maybe the 31 if they give them the spot there. I
think that was number 5, Musa.
Musa will bring it to the 31. These Crawford numbers are kind of hard to tell because they have their jerseys tucked in and half the number is tucked in, so I apologize if I'm a little late with the number call. So 1st and 10 from the 31, and again, you got to give Crawford credit just for coming out here.
Oh, I mean,
they've had a tough season, but yet you got to give them credit for coming out and at least fighting and making the effort.
Yeah, and right now they just want to get something going here offensively to stay within the game.
Fullback dive, picks up about 2, and that I believe was
Javier Sid.
Yeah, Javier Sid picks up a couple there and brings up 2nd down and 7.
He just followed the center straight ahead as the dive play, simple as it can be. Nicely tightened up there defensively by Christian. Did not give a whole lot of running opportunities there. Linebackers came up, closed each hole, so it was a tough read for Crawford.
Rodriguez hands the ball off to Lyons, and Lyons on the handoff picks up about 3. So 3rd down and 5, and drive looking decent thus far for Crawford as they're able to pick up solid yardage.
Yeah, nice misdirection off tackle there. A little space there. Thought Lyons maybe could have cut it out a little bit outside, but again, Christian's linebackers, very active, came up and took him on and took him down.
Brings up 3rd down and a long 3 here for Crawford, looking for their first down of the game with 3:20 here left in the first quarter. 21-0 Christian has the lead. Quarterback keeper, they look like there's some movement, but the referees let that one go, and quarterback keeper picks up maybe a half a yard, and we're going to have a 4th down and short, and I think if you're Crawford, you go for it here.
Yeah, and right now they're really playing, they're really playing behind the deck because if you're not going to pass the ball or even attempt to pass the ball, that allows the defense to bring up 9, maybe even 10 men, and you have that lone safety as the lone safety valve in the backfield, in the defensive backfield. So it's really, it's the blocking numbers aren't to Crawford's advantage if they're going to bring 9 and 10 players up to the line of scrimmage, and you just cannot block that many players with your offensive alignment. 4th
down and short 3. Pitch to Lyons, and he is hitting. Actually, that was Musa who's hit and doesn't go anywhere, loses about a yard, and the Patriots will take over at the Crawford 38-yard line.
But you want to see how the textbook, the cut in a run that's designed to go outside to make it cut up short inside. Watch what Brandon Hester did on this play, because he came up from the cornerback position, took on the pulling guard. That forced Lyons to cut inside, and that allowed the linebackers from the inside to come over on their pursuit to make that tackle and stop that play for no yardage. So nicely done there by Hester.
1st and 10 from the Crawford 37 as Carrillo getting everybody lined up at the line of scrimmage, and we're going to have, I believe, a timeout called by the Patriots as Christian took a little bit of time there to get that play in. So timeout on the field, 21-0. Christian has the lead with 2:29 left in the first quarter.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Then tell your school to sign up for PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
I'm Andrew Jensen alongside Thomas Conroy here. Nice night here out in East County, San Diego, and El Cajon. It's been a very warm football season because typically at the end of the last game of the football year, I'm used to coming up and wanting to wear a beanie and kind of bundled up. Here, it's nice out there and definitely been unseasonably warm throughout this football season.
Yeah, it really has, and great weather every weekend. I can't just the one game we did at Montgomery with the fog incident. But that's about it.
I remember a couple of years ago, last year you and I were doing a game, and it was raining like I've never seen before in San Diego. And very cold, whereas this year not the case.
Yeah, but you could just sense it with the crowd and the Christian team. This one is really just kind of setting them off to get them off on the right foot to start their playoffs either next week or the following week, depending on where they'll be seated.
So Carrillo coming out of the timeout. We'll have it 1st and 10 from the Crawford 37. Carrillo with 2 touchdown passes already in this one. He's going deep here on 1st and has a man wide open, pitch and catch, touchdown to Kai Arvin from 37 yards out, and Carrillo is looking like Joe Montana out there this evening.
Well, beautiful job by Carrillo because he moved that pocket to the far side of the field. That allows extra time, and that way he threw a perfect spiral to Kai Arvin right down the middle of the field. He caught it, walked in the end zone as he had at least a 3-step advantage on the DB. So nicely done there by the wide receiver and the quarterback, who's played a perfect first quarter.
Mason Powell comes in to attempt the extra point. And the extra point is up and good. And you got to wonder how long Christian keeps Carrillo in that quarterback. This would be a good opportunity to get some other players, get some opportunities and some reps in with this game looking like it's going to be pretty much on cruise control for the Patriots.
Well, you want to at least finish out this quarter, and I think they may go 1, maybe 2 drives in the second quarter and then call it a night. But like you said, right now they're playing very well, and they seem like they're prime and ready for the playoffs.
And you just got to feel bad for Crawford. Again, it's kind of an unfair advantage, but you got to give them all the credit in the world for coming out and even playing. They could easily be like, you know what, we'll just call this season off and try it again next year. But you got kids out here working hard and putting up with these tough losses.
Yeah, and I feel bad for the seniors because now this is going to be back-to-back 1-9 seasons, and you don't want to end your high school career on that note. And, it's just tough, and injuries have killed them, so you really feel bad for them.
Kickoff is fumbled momentarily by Crawford, but able to pick up and bring to about the 17-yard line. I believe that was that was Abdi Musa with the return and gets it clear close to the 20-yard line.
He had trouble picking that ball up. Again, they're not catching it on the fly. They're letting it bounce in front of them. You don't want to do that because that football will take a weird bounce in front of you. And he just made a nice play, just making sure he secured the football. So they got to learn to catch that on the fly. It helps them a lot better. And even if you want to almost fair catch it and stay there, but don't let it bounce. You don't know where that's ball going to go if it bounces in front of you.
Crawford's lone win this year came early in the season as they defeated Vincent Memorial, a team from out in El Centro.
Good game, too, 30-28.
And we have a timeout called by the Colts as they had some difficulties getting that play in.
And they had some decent games early in the year before the injuries felt. I mean, they scored 20 points against
Horizon's a good team, too.
And 28 against Calipatria. So they can put up some scores, some points when they were healthy, but then obviously lately with the injuries mounting on after their win against Vincent Powell, they lost to Claremont 41-8, then the University City 37-0. Had to forfeit, as we talked in the pregame, with Point Loma. And then last week losing to Coronado 33-8.
Yeah, tough season. And like you said, they were scoring, looking fairly decent in the first part of the season, at least putting up numbers, but then the injuries kind of mounted up, and then it made it a little bit more difficult to start scoring.
Yeah, and that's always frustrating. The injuries, and that's a cruel part of this sport, football, is when the injuries mount, they usually don't stop.
So Rodriguez comes in after the timeout on the shotgun, and looks like he kept that one himself.
Yep, little design quarterback, not draw that time. He would try to get to the outside, and picked up a few yards. And that's what it looks like it's going to be tonight from Crawford. Not a lot of passing unless it's necessary. Just trying to run the football, and you hate to say it, but maybe just trying to use the clock to as much as you possibly can and get out of here with hopefully respectable defeat. But not a whole lot coming their way offensively.
2nd and 9 after a 1-yard pickup there. With a minute 30 left here in the first quarter. 28-0. Christian has the lead on this final regular season game for the 2012 season for both schools. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fired, and it's intercepted. Kai Arvin is going to take it the other way. Touchdown, Christian. Arvin got it off the deflection, and he brings it in from about 30 yards out. And the score now 34-0 with the extra point getting ready here.
Well, that play had 2 deflections, Andrew. One from the defensive end, Zane Kaufman there, as he put his hands up on the pass play. Went off of his hand, and then it went off the intended receiver's hands, and that was Lyons, and then easily into Arvin's hands as he walked in for the touchdown.
Mason Powell coming in to attempt the extra point, only a junior. This Christian team has a lot of underclassmen coming back next year. This is going to be a team that's going to be pretty tough next year as well. They were having a great season this year as Powell's extra point is up and through. 35-0 with 1:11 left. But you look through this roster, Trenton Sauls, their big linebacker tight end, junior, coming back. Trevor Howell, we talked about earlier, only a sophomore, coming back. You got your quarterback coming back in Michael Carrillo, only a junior. Harris Miller coming back. I mean, Kai Arvin, junior, coming back. This team is going to be very tough next year. They are losing Rayvon Owens, which is big, and Philip George they're losing. But they have a good core of people coming back next year.
And Stephen Johnston, their linebacker, the senior linebacker. But as you said, they're pretty well stacked and ready.
Not only
next year.
Not only next year, they still have business to take care of this year.
Yeah.
I mean, once they find out tomorrow where they're seated and who they're playing, they have a great chance to take the whole crown for D5. I really believe that they would be one of the favorites heading into tomorrow's playoff.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, we saw them in the beginning of the year against El Cajon Valley, which was really a tough football game because of that school seemed like they were set on defeating Christian, and they had to come back from way back and really played a heck of a second half to win that football game.
So a pickup on the kick return there out to the 25. That's Musa brings it out to the 25. And Crawford will have it trailing 35-0 here in the first quarter, 1:06 remaining.
Boy, Crawford did us. your main goal sometimes is just if you can get a first down, you don't know how much that relief can kind of take off an offense that's struggling off their backs if they could just get that initial first down. And I agree with you, Andrew. I think we're going to see now that it's 35-0, you might see a lot of the starters for Christian call it a night here in quarter number 1.
I mean, at the same time, too, not only letting your other players get some reps and kind of get some experience out there, but sportsmanship is such a big deal, too, at this level, and you don't want to pile it on. But at the same time, you can't tell your players not to play hard, so it's kind of one of those catch-22s.
Yeah, it's nothing that they've done here. This is they're playing their offense, so you can't say anything against that. And on that interception, the ball was deflected twice. It's just the kind of luck of the draw for Crawford this year to have that ball go return in the end zone. But I think what Christian wanted to do was to execute and get out in front and take this game seriously and then go from there. And I think their mission has been accomplished because you've had 4 offensive touchdowns and 1 defensive touchdown. Now let some of your players that really earned a chance to play a lot here in this final home game.
Lyons there, you could see him right there. He was driving. He could have easily just let that play go after the initial contact, but he kept driving. And that will be the final play of the first quarter. And so we'll head to the second quarter with the Christian Patriots on top, 35-0 here on PlayOnSports.com.
PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter, and you can also have access to thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
So coming in here to the second quarter, Crawford will have it 2nd down and 11 after that 4-yard pickup to end the quarter by Lyons. These two teams will face each other a couple times come basketball season. They both play in the same league. And Crawford, although they're struggling this year in football, they're going to have a pretty solid basketball program. They've really have a great coaching staff over there, and their basketball program is going to be pretty tough. Christian, on the other hand, I'm pretty familiar with this league as I coach in that same league, but Christian lost their top 2 basketball players last year, Shane and Dillon, and so we'll see how they come out. But Crawford's going to be pretty tough this year come basketball season. That's good for them. And you were talking earlier before we went on the air, practice begins next Saturday. Yeah, a week from tomorrow is when tryouts and / practice begins. And seeing Crawford play throughout the summer in different summer leagues, and they're going to be pretty tough. Nice run there on 2nd down as pickup of about 6. And that was pickup by Abdi Musa. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and about 8. Yeah, a little change there for the second quarter by Crawford. Wanted to get the more speedier back, try to use his speed on the outside there. And he did break that corner there, nicely done by Musa. And he got, a few yards. But again, the pursuit and just the overall defensive philosophy by Christian right now is overwhelming. Great pursuit angles, really cut down the running lanes to almost minimal, and you really have to fight for your yardage because these linebackers are awfully active. Gisela Rodriguez on 3rd down and 8. Will look to throw, fires, and it is incomplete. Howell was in coverage there, and that's going to bring up 4th down. And Crawford, you think, is going to punt this one away. Yeah, I don't know if Trevor Howell just didn't read that football, but, boy, he had a clear shot to intercept that football as Rodriguez just kind of lobbed that ball up there. Did not have a lot of zip on the ball, and he's very fortunate that ball wasn't intercepted. And Ray Lyons was the intended receiver, and Howell will come out again and stand near his own 45. Meanwhile, Jorge Lara will come in and boot this one away for the Colts. Low snap. Lara's able to get it off. Nice kick. Will send Howell back, and Howell calls a fair catch at the 32, and that's where the Patriots will take over. Now, going back to basketball teams here, I know we're kind of doing football here, but on the subject, and Shane Dillon, obviously for those Christian fans out there know all about Shane Dillon, the great quarterback for Christian. If you never saw him play basketball, he could have had a basketball scholarship as well. He focused it on football, but he was a heck of a basketball player as well. And if football didn't play out for him, he had the option to go play basketball in college as well. So Christian is going to miss him this year. He was Mr. Everything for that team last year.
Yeah,
definitely an athlete. That's an understatement.
Got a chance to see him in one of the tournament games we covered last year when we used to be KBC Sports. So I do agree. He was a very talented basketball player.
He's a talented athlete all around.
Yeah, exactly.
But Carrillo coming in, doing a good job filling in, or taking over, I should say, as he fires it out to Phillip George and pick up of a few there, about 3 yards. But you got to give Carrillo credit. I mean, big shoes to fill coming in. One of the best quarterbacks to come through, the San Diego section in a long time. And Carrillo coming in and doing a very good job. Yeah, and what he does is he doesn't have happy feet. There's pressure coming up. He does not move out of the pocket too often. He'll look downfield and does his progressions and really waits until that last minute before he gets hit and makes a good tight spiral pass to get that completion. Second down, and Carrillo goes down. So Crawford's front line there gets some pressure and brings down Carrillo. It'll be a loss of about 4. It'll bring him back to the original line of scrimmage, or close to it, and it's going to be third down and about 10. Yeah, Edgar Chavez there for Crawford makes the stop. Nicely done. Got pressure on him there and really took advantage of a good inside pressure, good inside stunt there to get some pressure on the quarterback. Look, we have a change in quarterback for Christian. Well, Carrillo was in there just until this final play. Handoff up the middle, and that is Miller again, and Miller has room to work. A lot of green in front, a little cut back there, and finally, well, no, he's not going to be brought down. Paris Miller brings it in from about 66 yards out, and it looked like he was going to go down on a couple occasions, and Miller just showing his strength and athleticism, carried the defenders with him, and 41-0 now the score. Yeah, a lot of arm tackling there by Crawford, and Musa, number 5 for Crawford. He's the safety. He has to come up and really put his shoulder pads into that running back. He chose not to, and Miller just ran right by him for that touchdown. And the quarterback for Christian on that play, Andrew, was the freshman David Jeremiah, number 11. So the extra point, he is up and good, 42-0. Christian on top of Crawford here with 9:08 left in the first half. So we're really seeing the future here with the freshman quarterback getting some PT. With David Jeremiah, only a freshman, so. Well, you got it's excellent game experience for the youngster. Being at the varsity level, being a freshman, you get some action in here. And who could forget that game we did 5 years ago with Helix when they brought up a bunch of freshmen. And now all those guys are playing Division I or about to go play Division I football. So it's just amazing. And they came in and upsetted Valhalla in a heavily. It looked like it was going to be definitely a big win for Valhalla to finally defeat Helix on a down year. And they came in there and upset it. Remember that. That's when their quarterback, who's now at USD, was only, I believe, a sophomore at that point, getting his first playing time. And he came in and put up huge numbers, and he's now the quarterback for the Toreros, or a quarterback for the Toreros. Kickoff fielded at the 2. As Crawford will get it out near the 20-yard line. And that is where the Colts will take over with 9:01 left here in the first half. 42-0. The Patriots up big. Yeah, I think that was Musa Adabe with the return. He came in and actually caught the ball on the fly for Crawford now on the kickoff returns. Now they come out of the huddle. And they got a running clock going now here. First down and 10. And Crawford will look to throw, and they fire and have it complete. No, incomplete. Should have been caught there, but couldn't bring it in was Musa. He brings it in. Would have been a minimal gain, but should have been caught nonetheless. Falls incomplete. Yeah, great hit out there on the open field by Chad Humphreys, the sophomore for Christian. He read it perfectly. Came up and lined him up there on the open flat and hit Musa once the ball came into his hands and make it an incomplete pass. 8 minutes to go in the first half. I want to thank everyone for tuning in wherever you may be listening from here tonight on PlayOn Sports.
Yeah, we want to thank everybody for the whole season. It's been really enjoyable, great experience, and a lot of fun this year.
And a pass on 2nd and 10. Rodriguez just trying to get rid of it. That's going to be a grounding call as there was no one in the area.
Yeah, he was running for his life.
Yeah, that's the grounding call, and that's going to be a penalty and a loss of down. And the Christian fans here are rooting for Crawford. They don't want that penalty. Come on, ref, what are you doing? But the referee has to do his job, and that was the right call.
It was.
The Christian fans here showing good sportsmanship, saying, come on, refs, just let them play a little bit here. Don't call that. And that's going to push Crawford back inside their 5. But the referees are doing. You can't just not call the game.
Yeah, you got to call a game the way you see it, and I totally agree with that. If you know, he had nobody in line. If you had somebody maybe within a 5-yard kind of
give him a little bit of leeway, but here there was nobody there. So the clock rolling, 6:43.
A lot of changes now for Christian on defense. We can see out there.
And Rodriguez will hand the ball off. It'll be a pickup of a few there by Lions, and he'll get to about the 6-yard line. It brings up 4th down and very long. 4th down and about 25.
Yeah, they're already getting in a punt formation. I think the guard goes back to punt the ball for Crawford, number 66, Sheikh Laban.
Howell back to return the punt. Good snap. Kick is up. Howell will field it and call for a fair catch at the 46. And that's all, I'm guessing, instruction by the coaching staff for Christian, saying don't return the punt. Just field it and call a fair catch and let them start the drive from where he catches it. Don't want to try to return a punt with a big lead like this.
Yeah, and with the new,
Carrillo coming back in.
Yeah, Carrillo's in the game, and so I was thinking if they're going to bring in the youngster, be a little bit more conservative play calling. You kind of just want to develop him slowly, not allow him to throw the ball all over the field like you would with Carrillo behind the center.
So Carrillo will have it at the Crawford 45 under center, and he is going to throw. Fires and gets it out to Sauls. And Sauls is still fighting for yards, still on his feet, and finally brought down after a pickup of 8. And you're not going to bring Sauls down with one guy. Sauls is a big dude.
6'1", 220.
That's a big guy. Also a member of the Christian basketball team.
Yeah, fine forward. We did it.
That's a big boy. 220 to 6'1". That's trust me, the guy you don't want to try to box out. Might not have the size as power forward height-wise, but has it the other way.
I'm glad to see him back to 100%. He got hurt in that El Cajon Valley game, injured his ankle, and it was the way they helped him off field. You felt bad for him that he'd be out for extended time.
End arounds, and it'll be a first down picked up there as Zane Kaufman gets it on the end around, picks up the first, and we brought down at the 29.
Yeah, Kaufman now getting some offensive plays. Remember, he had the key deflection on that interception by Arvin in the first quarter from the defensive end position. Now getting some plays here offensively at the tailback position. 4
minutes to go here in the second quarter as we're on a running clock with the lead the way it is. 42-0. Christian has the lead. 3:50 now left here in the first half. Carrillo first down, looking to throw. He's under pressure, and he gets hit. It looks like the ball may have came loose.
The referees, they threw everything in their pockets, so that's usually the spot where the ball was.
Yeah, and Crawford comes up with it. That is a fumble recovery there by Crawford as Carrillo loses it on the sack, and it looks like that was Courtney Roberts who recovered it for the Colts.
Yeah, nice penetration by the whole front four of Crawford. They've been slowly getting some penetration in on the quarterback, and right there it worked to their advantage as he got hit, and then Roberts was right on the spot to pick the ball up. So nicely done there by the Colts.
That's the second time we've seen them get pressure on the offensive line, and Rolo just couldn't hold on to it there. Ball handed off, and that's Abdi Musa, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. Brings up second down and 10.
And their all-world Tyler Leslie came inside. Great inside pursuit angle to hit the Lions in the backfield and spin them back. You talk about a big man. He is 6'1", 250, the senior. And he is a standout on both offense and defensive line. So Tyler Leslie having another outstanding game in his senior season.
So second and 10 after that play gets back to the line of scrimmage with 2:12 here in the first half, excuse me. Rodriguez on the handoff on second and 10 has Lions, and Lions gets back to the line of scrimmage again, and that's going to bring up third and 10. Maybe about a half-yard pickup.
Yeah, Jacob Porras again from the inside linebacker position. Just kind of fought off a block from the guard there to get inside there on the running back Lions and push him back. So nicely done there by Porras, the senior linebacker.
Third down and 10, 1:30 left in the second quarter. Again, want to thank everyone for tuning in, and especially if anybody is listening from the East Coast, we want to wish you well for all that you guys have been through out there with the weather issue.
Yeah, so many states on the East Coast.
And I know we cover PlayOn Sports. We cover a lot of teams from that area, so I want to wish everybody well and hope recovery process is going well as Howell picks off the pass there, and he should be able to walk just into the end zone here as he does. So Howell, a pick six. And Howell gets in from about 42 yards out, and he was untouched.
Great play by Howell because he read Yazell the last time. He threw the same exact pass as he did for an incompletion, just lobbed it up there with one-on-one coverage on Musa. That time Howell read it, stepped in front of Musa, and got the easy interception, and more importantly, ran in untouched on the far sideline.
There was a penalty marker out there. I didn't see it, but it looks like it's going against Christian.
Maybe a push-off on Howell. We might have missed that. Or it could be blocking the back after the interception.
Yeah, because they're going to have the ball. So, yeah, it was which I don't see why they would need that block in the back because Howell had no one in front of him. But someone committed the hold, and so it will be Christian football. So it's still 42-0. So wipe off that interception return, and that will do it for the first half with the running clock here. It's just going to wind down. So after one half, it's all Christian, 42-0, as they have a big lead over Crawford. We'll step aside for the halftime break. We'll come back with the second half in just a bit here on PlayOnSports.com. Welcome back to PlayOnSports.com. I'm Andrew Jensen alongside Thomas Conroy as we are just a few moments away from starting the second half here at Granite Hills High, where Christian has a dominating 42-0 lead over visiting Crawford right now. And it's really been all Christian to this point, and Crawford, right, you feel for them, but they got to come out here and finish up the second half and finish out the year, with their heads up high.
Yeah, that's all it is right now. It's about pride and just, really, hate to sound like a broken record. You just want to end the season on a positive note. Maybe get a touchdown or just get some positive yardage, whatever you can here, and kind of just put this one to rest because it's been a tough year. But you'll feel better about yourself if you could kind of just have a good second half here and send your team off to a good off season.
So we're going to have a couple new return men back for the Patriots. They're going to get the ball first. And I don't think they are on the roster. We may have to get a JV roster I know they have it over here with the scorekeeper because it looks like some JV players are coming in.
Right. Well, I can see Rayvon Owens is not even in uniform. He's sitting on the bench. So his night's done. So is number 3, Philip George.
We're waiting for our producer to go get a JV roster to get some of these guys' numbers in here because they are not on our varsity roster with the score the way it is.
And it's understandable. Good, you could see right now also in front of us David Jeremiah, who came in for one play. He's learning, practicing snapping with the center, Chris Jones, as he'll probably get a lot of time here in the second half. So the coaches have airing out the roster here, and should be.
I believe that is Nick Sexton back deep, along with Christian Meza. So Sexton and Meza, the return men for the Patriots.
Doing double duty, playing a little JV football and a little varsity football tonight.
We're waiting for the official to blow the whistle and allow play to begin. And here we go. Kick is up. And it will be fielded.
Nope.
Tried to get fielded there by the up men. Crossing the 20 or the 15, and he breaks free. That's Nick Sexton. And Sexton, welcome to varsity. You just scored a touchdown on the kick return.
Boy, he had trouble picking the ball up as it went right through his hands on the kickoff. And it looked like he was going to have trouble and possibly maybe even lose that ball at the 5-yard line. Finally picked it up. But, boy, he followed his blockers to a T as they had a center screen developing right there. And they open up the middle of the field with blocking to both sides of the field, clearing a huge hole for him. And he used his speed to his advantage, and more importantly, had the smart of mind of getting on the hash marks and then cutting it out to the far sidelines to create space from the defender. So, welcome to varsity football, Nick. You just scored your first touchdown.
Showing his speed there, and Powell will come in and attempt the extra point with the score now 48-0. Make that 49-0 as Powell's kick is up and through. So, on the opening kickoff here in the second half, Christian takes it in. Will Sexton.
95 yards.
95-yard return there. Nick Sexton brings it in and gives Christian an even bigger lead now with Crawford set to return.
But you watch that speed. He's on the JV roster, so he'll be on varsity next year. Like we said earlier, they're
going to be stacked. And good coaching staff with Coach Oliver and company here. Oliver and company. I don't want to make a Disney movie reference, but Coach Oliver doing a great job with these Christian Patriots.
And he's having fun with his team there on the sidelines as he has to be proud of everybody. Giving everybody a chance to play here today. And they're making the most of it, doing a nice job.
Well, we had a running clock in the first half, but not yet here in the second half. We have to wait for the official word from the officials to get that running clock going, as we have a kick return there, and that was, it looks like a Musa who brings it out to the 31-yard line, and that's where the Colts will start this drive.
Yeah, catching again now, third time that they've caught it on the fly and use it to their advantage to move upfield, so they got good field position. I think this is their best field position all night offensively for the Colts, so let's see what they do here.
We'll see if they can get something positive going. I mean, we've seen a little bit of sparks. I mean, although they've given up a lot of points defensively, we've seen a couple signs of good plays on the defensive side. Offensively, they've really struggled.
Yeah, they've gotten pressure from the defensive line. We've seen that, but just not a lot of creativity offensively. And how can you be if you can't even field the full squad? You can't really practice. You can't get that crispness that you need to run offense.
Ball is handed off, and almost breaking free for a big game is Abdi Musa. And picks up nice yardage on first down, but was one tackler away from possibly getting an even bigger gain as he gets about 5 or so on that run.
Yeah, just got a little bit outside, trying to make a move on the defender, could not. Great tackle there by Zane Kaufman from his defensive end position to trip him up. But he did make that little fake to the outside and cut back inside off tackle there. And got decent yardage there on first down.
Their best pickup on first down here this evening. Brings up second down and 5. Another handoff goes to Musa, and he is hit hard. I believe he has enough for the first down. He will have enough for the first down, so move the chains, and so Musa doing a good job on the first 2 carries here for Crawford in the second half.
Well, we saw this change at the end, in the middle of the second quarter, where they put him in as a starting tailback, Musa, just to take advantage of his speed there to the outside, and he used it there again. Really worked well. Took that hard cut right off the tackle's hip to get to the near sidelines and outside to get that first down. A lot of stacking there by Christian, so he had to run through a lot of traffic to get that first down. Nice running there by Musa.
Abdi Musa, only a junior, so he'll come back. A nice building block for Crawford as he has another big gain here. He breaks free, has some room in front of him, has a huge gain, and finally brought down at about the 27-yard line. And that is the biggest play by far for Crawford, and it's the deepest penetration they've had thus far for the Colts.
Yeah, nice sneak draw play right there. Again, he explodes off the block by the tackle and guard and gets right in the middle of the field and try to make a couple of little juke steps, kind of tripped himself up, or else he would even have a farther gain there. But great pursuit there by the safety for Christian, number 9, Steven Johnson, to make the stop.
So first and 10 from the Christian 27-yard line. So Abdi Musa having a huge drive, and now we have a fumbled snap, and Christian picks it up, and it will be Patriot football after the fumble recovery.
Mike Parker with the fumble recovery there, the senior defensive lineman there, right on the spot, and great reaction as he had good penetration. It's a bad snap from center. Quarterback fell down trying to retrieve the football, and then Parker just outran him and got that football and got that recovery.
That's too bad for Crawford. They had a good drive going there, and to have it end in disaster there is obviously not the way that Crawford had hoped. But you do have to give him credit for getting down that far from Abdi Musa there. Had a good drive up until that bad snap. So Carrillo still under center. Hands it off. And Paris Miller actually goes backwards for the first time today, and he'll lose a couple there. Second down and 12.
I think that's the first time he actually hit the ground.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think he's been touched until that play.
I mean, he had one of those days where you could just put his uniform nicely, neatly back in his locker. It was not very much dirty, but right there, good penetration there by the Crawford Colts defensive front. And that front 5 has been done a nice job there, getting good penetration since the second quarter on in Christian's backfield.
Second and 12, handoff to Miller. He'll make up for it here. Spins out of a tackle, has a first down and more. He is brought down in Crawford territory at the Crawford 41.
That's the type of play you see most weeks from Paris Miller, running between tackles there, and then just using his speed and his toughness there to gain extra yardage. He did a nice spin move off the linebacker there, about 5 yards in on his run, And then he challenged the DBs to take him on, and he lowered his shoulder and went through a couple to gain extra yardage.
7:23 left. We're back to our running clock here in the third quarter. Handoff to Howell on the end around. Howell has some room. He breaks free and has Green in front of him and will be chased down by Crawford. He's brought down near the 20, so a big pickup of about 21 there for Trevor Howell.
Yeah, you got to believe he's going to take over for the senior Philip George as that starting wide receiver next season. And he shows you why that end around, boy, when he breaks off of that tackle to cut to the outside, that blazing speed is hard to keep up with, and the DBs are just not making good pursuit angles on the end around there. Second time that they've done an end around and got huge yardage.
So 1st and 10. That's Howell under center, who hands it off to Miller. That's the first time we've seen Trevor Howell line up at the quarterback position. And Miller picks up a few there.
Yeah, put that play away. That could be you kind of use a formation like that, so you put that in whoever you're playing in your playoff game, so they have to actually practice for it because he is a vital part of their offense, albeit as a third or fourth wide receiver. But that's the type of play you always see smart coaches do, just so the other team has to account for it.
David Jeremiah back under center and hands it off to his running back, Chad Humphreys. And Humphreys is near the goal line, but I don't believe he got in.
Wow, he was awfully close, boy. Another great runner right there. Off tackle, cuts it out to the outside, and again uses his speed as he's a fresh back, and he really ran through that defense hard. Got close to that touchdown.
But they're going to call it back. There was a holding call, and Humphreys' run will go for naught, and it'll move Christian back a little bit. Humphreys showing his speed there. He is only a sophomore, so add him to the mix of players that will be coming back and contributing for this Christian team for the years to come. So it'll be 10 yards from where the hold occurred, so it's still going to be second down and only 7. This won't be as close to the end zone as original. Handoff, and getting inside the 10-yard line is Philip George. And George is brought down at about the 7-yard line, and that will move the chains for the Patriots.
Yeah, great tackle there by Abdi Musa as he had to take on a pulling guard there on the near side, shook off the block there, and then came from behind to take down George as it looked like he was going to walk into the end zone. So nice play there by the junior cornerback.
David Jeremiah. The ball is handed off near the end zone, and they're going to say he is in. Touchdown, Christian, and that was Humphreys, who had that big run called back a moment ago. He gets in this time, and the lead has extended to 55-0.
Yeah, nice draw play there. A little fake on the end around to Kaufman. Jeremiah handed it off to his tailback Humphreys, who went right over the guard and center on his left to get in the end zone. A 6-yard run. And it's now 55-0 Christian over Crawford.
Yeah, and Powell coming in to attempt the extra point here to try to make it 56. Low snap. But Powell's able to get it up and in. 56-0. And the clock rolling on the running clock. So 3:39 left and ticking before the final game here. And then Christian will find out tomorrow in the playoff seedings who they will face, if they face anybody in the first round, for the Division V Christian Patriots. And again, I really think they're going to be a tough out, and they'd have to be one of the favorites.
Who are some of the other tough outs in the other divisions? Yeah.
Horizon is going to be another tough matchup for. So Horizon will be another tough matchup here for Christian, along with Francis Parker, always in the mix.
Yeah, Francis Parker always
Bishops as well. So, I mean, there's some tough teams out there, but.
And obviously Helix and
but they won't.
Yeah. No, but you know.
Are you talking just in general?
Yeah, there's tough outs. And
they're saying in the division.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean, I meant in San Diego.
You got to say Helix Cathedral. I mean, they're in different divisions, so they're not going to face each other.
Right.
But in their respective divisions, they'll be tough outs.
Yeah, I was just going in all
Oceanside
divisions.
as well. Oceanside and Helix have a chance in a collision to face each other in Division II. And
that'll be an interesting contest because
last year we did the game where Helix just destroyed them at Qualcomm.
It was kind of really it was tough to watch because Oceanside you kind of wanted good things to happen to that team. It was
Junior Sale was in the locker room before the game there, giving him pep talk, as Junior Sale was a alum of Oceanside High. So Crawford has it, 1st and 10.
Yeah, we got escorted out of there before he came in. I remember that. That was kind of funny.
1st and 10, and a draw play picks up a couple for Abdi Musa, and brings up 2nd down and 8 with 1:45 remaining. Yeah, Coach John Carroll for Oceanside is not a guy you want to get mad.
No.
The broadcaster.
But I thought he was really, as far as when you're in that moment, especially at Qualcomm during those games, it can be awfully difficult to talk to coaches just because they're so focused. And he gave us a lot of access before that game, and he obviously asked us to leave before the final moments when they wanted to have the team, and then obviously with Junior coming in and talking to the squad.
2nd down and 8. Another draw play there, and this time a pickup of about 2, maybe 3 more. Just going to depend on the spot from the officials. As we are reaching the 1-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter. 56-0. Christian has the lead with the running clock here in the 3rd quarter.
It's going to be interesting to see how that all takes place, as the championship games for all the divisions will be at Escondido this year, and that's kind of the atmosphere for that contest.
Yeah, and you feel bad for the kids because, going to Qualcomm for the championship game is always such a big deal and something these kids look forward to, obviously. And 99.9% of them are never going to be able to play in a professional stadium, so that's kind of their ultimate goal. And this year it's taken away because of scheduling conflicts.
Right.
Which is too bad because the kids are ultimately the ones that lose out. Draw play there on 3rd down from Rodriguez. He'll pick up a couple more, brings up 4th down, and we'll call it 3, and that will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. So after 3 quarters of play, it's 56-0. Patriots on top big.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Then tell your school to sign up for PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
So 1 more quarter to go in the 2012 regular season. Still can't believe it's been 10 weeks since we did our first game, Steel Canyon, which seems like, seriously, it was maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, not 10 weeks ago.
It's been fun this year. I mean, for myself, not being from San Diego, I got to watch some different areas of football that I normally haven't covered or seen, and being down mostly in the South Bay this year, and I thought it was really exciting football for the most part.
I know you and I had a game a few weeks back at Castle Park, which is a really fun game and a fun environment down there. Homecoming for Castle Park is a...
It's been a fun year, and boy, those Steel Canyon games, those are fun because
because you're up in the hill behind the fence.
And we started out in really crazy heat, and then when the sun went down, it was just a perfect environment for football.
And going back to Steel Canyon, reading the article on their quarterback today, Brandon Andrade, who's really made a lot of strides, and now one of the better quarterbacks in the county. When we first saw him, he was kind of getting into the groove, but now he's the man over there at Steel Canyon.
It was really amazing. It's also the development of a head coach, too.
Yeah. Coach Longerbone is good guy, very good guy.
Right.
Low snap for Crawford on 4th down, and they will recover it, but it's going to be a turnover on downs, and the Patriots will get the ball back.
Yeah, great penetration there by number 63 for Christian. Scott Drew came in and took down the quarterback after he recovered the football.
Clock rolling. And again, the pairings will be announced. Typically, we do the broadcast for the pairings, but this year we're not doing it. And so I believe the Union Tribune website said they'll have the pairings up by 2 o'clock tomorrow, where you can log on and see exactly who Christian is going to play, if they play anybody in that first round, because they may.
Now, I know in years past you've been in the war room, so to speak.
Good times.
And last year was my first time, and I thought that was really amazing just to hear everybody kind of plead their cases for their teams.
Yeah, it's
and
a fun time.
Get it.
It's too bad we're not doing it this year, but Christian will find out tomorrow. Here we go on the end arounds. And getting tripped up. And it looks like Sexton again, who had that big 95-yard touchdown return to start the second half, picks up about 9 on the end around.
Can a JV be the player of the game at a varsity level?
Yeah, that's a good point. We need to think.
105-yard kickoff. A 95-yard kickoff return. That's pretty good.
I'd say 105. That's
yeah.
not legal at the high school level. It's like we'll start thinking about who that player is going to be. We've already had Paris Miller earlier in the year.
Right.
We had Trevor Howell earlier in the year. And speaking of Howell, he gets the end around here. He gets to the 10, makes a cut at the 5, and will knock down in the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots.
Boy, give credit to the offensive line there because there are some backups on there, but boy, they have not missed a beat. They know their blocking schemes, and they execute it so well. They get downfield. They really put their helmets on an open defender and really spread the lane to make it untouched for whoever has the football in their hands. They've done an excellent job all night. Give credit to that Christian offensive line, every one of them, because they've done an excellent job of creating wide gaping holes for their backs and receivers.
So Mason Powell coming in for the extra point, and that is good. 63-0. Christian has the lead over Crawford here with 9:24 left in regulation, and Christian just. It's hard to tell. I mean, obviously you want to play, sportsmanship, but you can't stop playing. Yeah. And so, I mean, it's not like they're rubbing it in; they're just running the ball here and scoring.
Well, I mean, on that play, when you see an offensive line just creating holes and you're really running untouched, you got to give it credit to them. They're continuing to play, and it's your job to get out of to kind of fight off the block and try to make a tackle, and they just cannot right now. The Crawford Colts.
I'd like to see Crawford get on the board here tonight. I mean, that would be, if I'm the coaching staff for Crawford, be like, hey, guys, obviously this one is kind of out of reach, but let's make a goal. Let's at least get on the board.
Yeah.
And see what they can do. And
that's why I thought on that fourth down play to start the fourth quarter, I thought they would punt it off to kind of just give them a wider field to work with. I mean, they basically gave them, you can't have a team that play that short of a field with that kind of a decimation to your roster, offensively and defensively.
So the ball is kicked off. Moose is going to return it at the 15-20, breaks out of a tackle and brought down at the 26, and that is where the Colts will take over with 8 minutes to go here in the fourth. And I want to invite all you folks at home listening that not only here in San Diego, but next week you'll be heading up north to cover games up in Northern California.
Yeah, Friday night we'll be doing a playoff game up there, and then the next day for Division 1 and 2 boys and girls water polo up north. So we're looking forward to that.
You don't know where you're going yet, so
no.
You'll find out here pretty soon. It's either going to be the Bay Area or Sacramento.
Right.
So you're going to find out where you're headed.
Should be lots of fun.
And again, we're here now with PlayOn Sports, part of a national network, so we have games all across the country every week for every sport. So it's not just the major sports in football, basketball, baseball. If you want your water polo game or lacrosse game or whatever it may be broadcasted live, just get in contact with us, and hopefully we can set something up. Nice run there on first down by Crawford, a pickup of 11, and I believe that was Lions.
It was Lions. Yeah, watch some little opportunity, some of the skiing that was available on demand from up north. It was really exciting to see. There was great camera work from our crew up there.
I'm glad someone can do it because that's one thing I'm not.
I was just trying to figure out how he did it. He must have went down on a snowboard down the hill.
Have you had a chance to call a water polo game yet?
No.
I had a couple years ago, and I tell you, that's a tough sport. You're going to get an appreciation for it. As ball is handed off on first down and 10, a pickup of 5 for Crawford by Lions. But water polo, I have a lot of respect for that game.
Yeah.
It's a tough game. You're going to realize that these people are treading water the entire game. It's like basketball and water. And those guys are in shape, and it's it's actually a pretty fun sport to watch. Me being kind of a mainstream sports guy, actually have a lot of appreciation and respect for.
I'm looking forward to it. One of my older cousins played water polo collegiately and got into a pool with some of his friends that kind of played a few years back, and those guys, what they do underneath the water to you should be illegal.
Yeah, it's a tough game. People don't realize as Lions gets to carry there, picks up a couple third down and 5:40 left in the ball game with the running clock here. 63-0. Christian has the lead if you're just tuning in. So this one just in the final stages of finishing up with the referees just running the clock and Crawford just not messing around, just running the ball nice and simple here, trying to get out of here in one piece.
Come on, just get 6 more yards so they can get over on the other side of the field for the first time tonight.
They were there earlier.
That's right.
On the second half, but that bad snap, so the second time.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Rodriguez looking to throw, and he fires up and is caught. Nice catch. That's the first big completion we have seen here.
Musa.
And Musa brings it deep into Christian territory. And that was a beautiful throw as well by Rodriguez.
Yeah, great timing and great concentration by Musa as he had one-on-one coverage right there with number 6 Zane Kaufman, and he just out-jumped him right there for the reception.
So it'll be first down and 10 from the 27. This is where they were earlier in the third quarter with that bad snap that turned it over, so they'll have a chance to redeem themselves a little bit here.
This is going to be number 4. That was Cody Kerwin who had the coverage for Christian.
As Lions goes nowhere there, maybe a yard of this forward progress. 4:21 left in the ball game. Crawford trying to just get on the board here and end the season on a positive note.
Yeah, and on that throw to Musa, Rodriguez really got good time from his offensive line, stepped into that ball. You like that tight spiral that he had. Hung a little bit, maybe you may not want that from a quarterback, but hung a little bit. But, again, Musa showing great concentration to make that catch.
Rodriguez hands it off on second down. And, late flag comes in.
Yeah, a little push there by number 55, late hit. Offensive lineman for Crawford.
And that's really, this game's obviously out of reach, but you did so well up to this point, and you have a chance to get in the end zone here and you kind of have something to build on. But now that just pushes you back 15 yards. It'll be third down and very long. So, that's just something you got to stay away from. Looks like Luis Martinez was the one that
and
pushing.
The junior just feeling a lot of frustration from this season. It's going to be a 1-9 for them. And for the seniors, it means it's going to be 2-18 in 2 straight years. That's just a lot of frustration building up, and you want to make that last hit. He didn't do malicious anything. It's just
uncalled for.
Yeah, he just kept the block after the whistle was blown, and that's a no-no in football.
So under 3 to go, 2:48. Crawford not in any rush whatsoever here at 41. It's third down and about 20, a little over 20. Rodriguez is going to throw. He's going deep, and he's going to overthrow his intended receiver there as he tried to find Musa again. And it's going to bring up fourth down and long.
Yeah, not bashful about throwing that football there. He's on the far hash mark through cross field and showed off his arm there as he threw that ball way out of bounds. Nobody was going to catch that football.
So this is the last chance for Crawford, you would think, to get on the board. It's fourth down and 20-plus here. About 21, I believe, is what it is officially, as we are under 2 to go. Looking forward to going back to the basketball really quick. I haven't had a word if we're covering that holiday tournament that we do every year over at Torrey Pines. And
I heard we are.
I hope so.
It's always confirmation.
Always a great time going up there and watching top talent from across the country, as we have an incomplete pass there, which will give the ball back to Christian with 1:33, and you figure they're probably just going to take a knee at this point.
Yeah, and Rodriguez threw the ball across the middle. There was no receiver there, so you gotta believe maybe one of the younger players. It looked like it was either Javier Sid or Musa running across the middle. Either one of them could have been the intended receiver. Not quite sure. Another one was nowhere near the football, so you got to believe that they ran the wrong route, both of them.
Now we're going to think of who we're going to pick our player of the game, as Christian's just going to take a knee here and get this one over with. As first down and 10, there's the first knee. They'll just have to take one more snap, and this one will be all over at 63-0.
I would give it to the Southmore, but that's me.
To who?
To the Southmore, the kickoff return.
The freshman?
Oh, the JV player.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
he's that's Nick Sexton. He's only a freshman.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's me.
My other one would be Philip George. He had a touchdown earlier in the third. I don't know if we've had him.
No, I agree. I mean, the senior, if we haven't had him on.
Yeah,
let's
that's grab Philip George. We'll have plenty of opportunities for Sexton as he's only a freshman. 3 more years. And
right.
I know sometimes coaches don't want the really younger guys.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Doing that. So we'll get Philip George, kind of the captain of this team, and get his thoughts. And that is it. 63-0 is the final. Christian wins it over Crawford, and they'll finish the season at 7-3. Meanwhile, Crawford will finish it at 1-9. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll try to get our interview with Philip George here in just a bit on PlayOnSports.com.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP. We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Welcome back here to PlayOnSports.com as Christian just comes off a big win, easy victory over Crawford, 63-0 with us now, our player of the game, Philip George. Congratulations on your victory today.
Thank you.
Now, talk about your performance. You scored a 47-yard touchdown pass to kind of put this game out of reach. I mean, you had the third touchdown of the game, and then you guys kind of were scoring at will. But talk about your performance and your touchdown reception.
It's just basically practice effort. We came out this week ready to practice every single day, and we just talked at the team that we want to practice how we play, and we practiced good this week, and it showed on the field.
Now, the last game before playoffs, you guys coming in knew you had maybe a little bit of a mismatch coming in. Did that play a factor at all, or you guys come in just like you're playing anybody else?
Just before the game, our coach told us that we want to play like it's a playoff game, and we're going to coach it like it's a playoff game to get prepared for the playoffs, and that's what we did.
Now, you're a senior. Are you pretty satisfied with how the season you guys finished at 7-3?
Yeah, we're excited, but we had some bitter losses that we should have won, but we're looking forward into the playoffs, and hopefully we're going to get another ring. Where
do you think you're going to fall as far as your seeding goes? Do you have any prediction where you might be?
Right now we're probably looking at the 2 or 3 spot, but it doesn't matter really.
All right, and talk really quick before I let you go. Talk about your quarterback. Obviously, having a lot of shoes, or big shoes to fill, trying to come in for Shane Dillon last year. He had such a monster game today. What's it been like transition-wise playing with a quarterback such as Shane compared to playing with Carrillo?
One thing that we really had to do was just be patient because he's new to the system, and he's learning the system. But he's been catching on really fast, so being patient was a big key, and he's just been doing really good for us this year. All
right, we'll wish you the best of luck in the playoffs, and best of luck on deciding what seed you guys get tomorrow. That was Philip George, our player of the game here, as Christian wins 63-0 over Crawford here on PlayOnSports.com.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to PlayOnSports.
Back to wrap things up here at Granite Hills High School. Christian just defeats Crawford rather easily, 63-0 as they finish 7-3, and Crawford falls to 1-9. Christian now will wait till tomorrow to find out who and what seed they are in the playoffs. Wrap up. What your thoughts on Christian?
Well, I think for Christian is really you want to get that bye. It helps you get that extra week rest, get everybody all healthy. But the way they played offensively tonight, I don't know if you want to take a week off because they really hit it on all cylinders. Great running by Paige Miller as Rayvon Owens did not play tonight, didn't even suit up. I don't know if you want him out 2 weeks. So I got the inclination talking to the coaching staff briefly downfield that they're going to be playing next week, and they're hitting on all cylinders, and their defense was solid, creating turnovers and scoring touchdowns off of those turnovers. So they're hitting right on the right tempo right now going into the CIF playoffs, and that's all you can ask for right now is a shot and an opportunity and play well.
And, again, they're going to get a little bit lower seed than maybe what they may have gotten. I mean, they have 3 losses, but all 3 of those losses were games that possibly they could easily had a chance to win, just kind of didn't get a bounce here or there. So they easily could be getting the number 1 seed, but here they are going to be a little bit lower, and they're going to be a team that you don't want to mess with come playoff time.
Yeah, come playoff time, that's always a problem, especially with them offensively, because they can throw the football and they can run the football. And when you have teams like that, it's just hard in the short amount of time that you have to prepare for the playoffs, to cover all bases and to really key on what they do well in a short amount of time.
Finally, Crawford finishes 1-9, a tough loss here, 63-0 with the running clock majority of this game. They take a deep breath, and your final thoughts on Crawford?
Well, it's just,